Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Linda, Branda, Nicole. Good morning, MP, Bill, Eric from Puerto Rico. All right, morning, everyone. Well, let's jump in. I'm excited to go over today's message. And again, as always, if you're new to Periscope and you want to share this with folks, friends, team, etc., if you swipe right or swipe up, and just follow the instructions, and you can invite folks on. And as always, if you hear something you like that kind of connects with you, if you just tap the bottom right of the screen, that'll send some hearts up. So appreciate that. Yesterday I talked about warm market. How do we approach and build a list, that kind of thing. Today, as I said, we're going to get into cold market. And I hear people sometimes say, "Well, I've talked to everyone I know. I'm out of people and this kind of stuff." Well, where do I go? Well, number one, that's real hard to do, and I often hear people say that early on in their time in the industry. But good morning, Jim. But here's the thing, and of course I'll walk them back through. Hey, come on, let's look at your phone. Let's, have you spoken with this person, and walk them through the process again that I did yesterday. I'm not going to rehash that, but let's say that you are out of people. I mean, you've spoken with the 1 to 200 people on your list, and it's time to move on and go speak with some other people. And so how do we do that? How do we meet people? And that's obviously what cold market recruiting is all about. And honestly, cold market recruiting is something that we should begin learning and begin the process of in the very beginning. Okay, and it doesn't have to be day one, but pretty quickly in the beginning. So I was actually interviewed recently and asked, actually a couple times, and asked coincidentally the same question. And they basically said, look, if you were dropped into a town or a part of the country or a part of the world for that matter, that you knew absolutely no one, and you had to start over, and I mean, you had no business, no nothing. I mean, you're starting from absolute scratch. What would you do? And I thought, man, what a great question, and of course, I don't ever want that to happen. I don't know if any of us do. But, my answer for me, and I think it's different for everybody, is number one, I'd live life, because in living life, obviously we meet people, right? We meet people, we get to know people, we find people of common interest, that kind of thing. So, unless you're sitting on a pile of money, obviously you'd have to go out and get a job, right? I would. So obviously I'd go get a job. So I'm going to have coworkers that I'm going to get to know. I'm going to develop relationships and friendships with. I'd have hobbies. Some of you know, of course, that I'm a pilot. So it's perfectly natural for me to be at an airport and spend some time with people because I can speak the language. I've been a pilot for a long time. So what are we passionate about? What are our hobbies? What's our area of common interest that we can go meet people with, right? And then from there, obviously, those relationships will grow, and then obviously we can offer our business as a solution to whatever their problems are. Well, to do that, we need to uncover what their problems are. So one of the goals, and you'll hear trainer after trainer after trainer talk about this in the industry, is meet 2 people a day. If you meet just 2 people a day, that's not a big number on a daily basis, obviously. And listen, so how do we do that? We could be at the grocery store. We could be at the gas station. We could be at the bank. We could be at a sporting event, And these are all places that I've personally met people that it's given me the opportunity to, morning, Renata, to be able to strike up a conversation and in a short period of time, create a relationship. And I'm not an expert at that by any means, okay? But think of these numbers, and we'll use some simple round numbers. We're not going to do exact numbers, but if you consistently, and if all of us consistently meet and make it a habit to meet 2 people a day, over a 12-month period, we're going to meet roughly 700 people. Well, if we meet about 700 people, now listen, 700 people are not going to be prospects for our business. That's not the point. And even if that was the case, we can't we can't support adding 700 people to our team in a year, personally. On a group level, we can, obviously, but not on a personal level, frontline. So that's not what it's about. But out of 700 people, do you think if there were secondary contacts and third and fourth contacts, that you could maybe find 100 people that you could possibly share your opportunity with? Okay, share our opportunity. And obviously, I don't know that everybody on this is with our company, but and I think the answer is yes. Now, that doesn't mean that all 100 will join with you, but if out of those 100 that you could share the opportunity with, do you think we could find one a month? And I think the answer is yes. So if we can bring 12 people into our business personally, frontline, on an annual basis, and do that for 5 years. Again, we're on a 2 to 5 year plan, right? So if we do that over 2 to 5 years, in 2 years, we've got 24 people frontline. In addition to friends, family, et cetera, everybody we know from our initial warm market list. And in 5 years, just from cold market, we can add 60 people to our team frontline. So it's not about doing, massive cold market recruiting campaigns and that kind of thing. It's about small actions. How often do we hear Logan talk about that? It's about doing the right small action repeatedly over an extended period of time. In a 5 year period, if we can add 60 people frontline that we don't know yet, transform our business, transform our lives, okay? Now, for the outgoing, if you've read Logan's book, and if not, please do. The personality colors, the blue personalities, man, they're outgoing. They're, a stranger is a friend they haven't met yet. That's it, right? Period, end of story. So, but let me talk to the introverts for a minute, because that's me, okay? This has been, for me to go out and talk to a stranger, oh my God, are you kidding me? What? I don't know that person, right? So for me, this has been, and it is an ongoing, huge growth process for me. It was not my strong point, and I'm still not saying it is, but it is becoming a stronger and stronger point. So I want to take ownership of that in a positive way. It's something I'm growing into. Here's where I had to start as an introvert, and I mean big time introvert, is I had to start it in a way that there was no objective. Because if not, I'm going to look, or my perception is that I'm going to look like I'm selling, right? Or like I'm hunting, maybe is probably a better way to put it. So I just want to talk to people. Let's go out and make a new friend. Say hi to somebody, make eye contact, say hi, compliment them on something. Hey, that's an awesome hat. Maybe somebody's wearing a hat because they were on a trip or something. Hey, that's an awesome hat. You've been to such and such? You've been to Bermuda? You've been to the Bahamas? You've been to Cancun? Whatever the case may be. Well, yeah. Oh, wow. When did you go? Da, da, da. Start the conversation, right? So we're asking them to share something about themselves, get them talking about themselves. One thing I learned from Logan is if we get people to speak about themselves. And what does everybody love to talk about? Themselves, right? Good morning, Jim Mallory. They're going to complain eventually. They're going to complain about money, job, family, life, whatever. And I don't mean in a negative way about family, maybe about not being able to spend enough time with their family, okay? They're going to share a need. It's just human nature. It's going to happen. So when we do that, that gives us the ability to offer what we have as a solution to their problem. So, and it doesn't have to be done necessarily on the spot. There's nobody better on the planet at that than Logan. I mean, on the spot, and get them thinking and honestly dreaming. It's amazing. His ability is uncanny. He's not duplicatable, and that's the truth, okay? I'm not Logan, and I don't need to try to be Logan. What I need to be is the best me I can be. All of us need to be the best us that we can be individually. So one thing that's huge, that's been a benefit for me, is Holly, who's outgoing, and I'm the introvert. Is we work as a team, so she will often strike up a conversation before I do. And then when she kind of gets it heading in the right direction, then she'll hand it off to me. And then from there, I can take it and direct it where it needs to go. But I don't have to be the one always who, matter of fact, very seldom do I, when we're together, that starts the conversation. Because that's usually the hardest part for an introvert. So again, I just want to address that for introverts. So, but again, I think if you get in that mindset where there doesn't have to be an objective, just talk to people, and for women, it's easy. Oh my gosh. I love those shoes. Where did you get those? Whatever. For men, again, it's something about, it could be they're wearing a shirt that for their favorite team, or a hat, or again, like I said, so a lot of different ways to strike up a conversation with folks. And while you're asking questions, again, without making it look like there's an agenda, if you use this acronym, is probably a best way to do it is FORM, FORM. So F is for family, O is for occupation, R is for recreation, and M is for message, is really what they talk about, but the message is your message. Okay, so what you're doing in effect is restating an issue or a problem that they have shared with you. And then again, having the opportunity to begin sharing your message, our message, as the solution to their problem. So I hope that makes sense. Without really breaking it down and going into too much detail with that. Again, maybe I can do an individual thing on just that and digging into each individual letter. But we don't have time on that. But another thing that you can do with people you meet, with everybody, you can just say, hey, listen, I'm real active on Facebook, and I love making new friends and just connecting on Facebook. Would it be okay if we connected on Facebook? Okay, so that's one way to take the conversation from stranger to, hey, basically, to put it in elementary school terms, hey, let's be friends, right? Another one is, and if you want to get somebody's information, that's the big thing, and it was always the big thing for me. Okay, how do I get from, hey, I really enjoyed talking with you, to, can I have your number? Without looking weird, right? So here's the way you do it. And I want to say it was Randy Gage that said this, and maybe it was Eric Worre, I don't know. I think it was Randy Gage, but it's so simple. This is the secret to getting somebody's information when you've had a good conversation with somebody, when you've connected with somebody who was a stranger 5-10 minutes ago. You just say, hey, listen, I really enjoyed talking with you. Hey, do you have a card? Who doesn't want to give their card, right? If they've got a business card, they're thinking, oh, wow, of course, my God. I mean, they'll be just tripping over themselves to give you their card, which of course gives you their contact information. So what you do at that point is then, again, whether you're connected on social media or whatever the case may be, especially if your posts on social media are lifestyle related, I've really made a huge transition to that because it's called attraction marketing. I want people to go, wow, man, look what this guy has, and see lifestyle and that kind of thing. But you can follow up with a phone call, email, text, whatever the case may be, when appropriate. So what does that mean? Well, you may reach out to them, 5 days or 10 days or a month or 2 months or whatever down the road, reach out and say, hey, I just thought of you the other day. I don't know if you remember, we met, blah, 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 blah. Here was the conversation we had. I thought of you because you restate their issue that they shared with you. You got to make notes on the back of that card and make sure you understand and remember why you need to follow up with them. And then again, you begin the process of offering what we have as a solution. And again, for me, what I love with what Steve Carter shared at Revolution, our national event, was then you can ask the question. You're positioning yourself, and maybe you've already got this answer, so it may even be easier, but you ask that question. Hey, let me ask you a question. Based on our conversation, I think there were maybe a couple needs for you, but let me ask you a question. Where's your priority if you had to choose? Is it improving your health or improving your finances, right? And then you walk them around the baseball diamond, right? You go through that process. What a simple process. It was awesome for Steve to share that. So, and again, it's restating their need and then directing them into the solution and walking them through the process. So I hope that makes sense. All right. two quick quotes, and then we'll close this out. I hope all that information has been helpful to you. One is from Logan. Obviously, Logan is, I've talked about Loganisms, right? That's what I call them. And they're just Logan's quotes, his growth or success quotes, whatever they may be. And one is, we need to get comfortable being uncomfortable, right? How true is that? We've just got to expand our thinking, grow our skills. We've got to get better. We've got to be the best us we can be. And you've heard me say this before. I want to be better today than I was yesterday, and I want to be better tomorrow than I'm going to be today. And that's just a continual growth mentality, right? The other quote, which you're right, growth is painful at first. Somebody just posted that. The other one is unknown. I don't know who I couldn't find who coined this phrase, but everything you've ever wanted is just outside your comfort zone. We need to get out of our comfort zone. We need to grow. When we do that, we grow, and our comfort zone grows. When we step out and do something we've never done before, and we realize that we can do it, and it was okay, and we didn't, we didn't pass out or anything, right? Then we go, well, that wasn't that hard. And then we can again expand, and we can expand, and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And next thing you know, our comfort zone has gone from here to here, and it's just grown incredibly. So, hey, let's all go make 2 new friends today. Let's start that process so we can look back 12 months from now, 365 days from right now. Okay, today's what, May 5th, I think. Look back May 5th of 2017 and have made 700 new friends and have the opportunity to share potentially with 100 new people. And let's all have at least 12 frontline new friends who we don't know yet, we don't know today, as our personal frontline associates. Let's go transform our business and help them do the same thing. It will change our lives together. So, hey, go own the day. Don't let it own you. Let's go knock it out of the park. Have an awesome day. I can't wait for tomorrow. Thanks again, as always, for being on, and we'll talk with you tomorrow morning.